What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, I've had a few people ask me in the last week or so about a status update on the old Mercury Optimax here. So I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of where it's at. I did get the thermostats in last week. Got that all buttoned up. And when I ran it, the temperature went up over the normal temperature. Usually that was open about 130 and it got up to 140 before I shut it down. So I just didn't really know what was going on that. So took it into a local marine mechanic here in Sonoma County, and just kind of went through what I had done with it so far, and just wanted to just get it serviced overall, get the full tune-up down, the spark plugs, fuel filters, replaced the belt up on top here, did the lower end service as well with the new impeller kit and gear oil and the works on that. But he was asking me about some past repairs, if I have ever looked at certain things, and how long I've had the boat and stuff like that. Something that nobody's ever really asked me in the past about it. I've had two other shops, don't know how many different mechanics have worked on it over the last 7-8 years, but kind of that's the big difference between taking it to somebody who's actually working on your boat versus dropping off at a dealership per se, and going over with a service writer who's not actually working on the boat. Nothing bad against those kinds of shops, but I'm sure they do great work. But working directly with the mechanic who's working on it, somebody who really knows these motors, goes a long way in my book. So he was asking me about the tracker valve and the fuel rail diaphragms on there, if I'd ever had those replaced. And it's the first really I've ever heard of those. And to the best of my knowledge, those have never been done. In the years that I've had it, nobody's ever mentioned about doing them as well. So he did the full service on it this week. Did a compression test, did put on the computer, checked the status of everything on the computer, everything checked out. He did, after the service with the plugs and everything, he ran it, temperature was normal, the thermostats opened up about 130, which is what they're set at, and then it was running about 115 to 120 on both sides of the engine. And with his computer, they're able to look at those kinds of things. So right now we're just waiting on those, the tracker valve and those two diaphragms to come in. The tracker valve should be here this week, and the other two should be here in probably 2 or 3 weeks. It's just they're back ordered from Mercury. It's a fairly common item from what he tells me. If you have an Optimax and you've never done that, it may be something to consider. He told me that when he pushed on the stem valve to let the pressure out of the fuel rail, which is on the air side, that fuel came out of that valve stem. So that wasn't a good sign. What can happen if that goes on too long? It'll just foul the plugs and your engine won't run hardly at all. But the engine's been running good. Maybe we caught it just in time. So we'll get those replaced. It's not a bad time to have the boat down with all the weather we're having. Just had a big storm today, lots of hail. It's been snowing up on the mountains here, snowing at Lake Sonoma, which is the first time I've ever seen snow at Lake Sonoma in all the years I've been here. And then up at Clear Lake, a lot of people, I'm sure you've seen the photos, lots of snow down at lake level. The boat ramps are covered in snow, and not just a little dusting. We're talking like several inches, 6, 7, even 8 inches around like Clear Lake Riviera. I have some friends up there, and their deck was covered with probably 8 inches of snow this past weekend. So that'll continue probably for the next week or two with this weather system, and hopefully later in March we'll start getting some little bit better weather and let the lakes clear up. But that's kind of the status of the boat right now. Got a lot going on this month with work and just fishing. We got our club tournament in a couple weeks at Lake Sonoma. I got our club open at Lake Sonoma the following weekend. Then there's another tournament that weekend after at Lake Sonoma once again, which is a benefit tournament. So could potentially be up there 3 weeks in a row fishing tournaments. So It's just going to be kind of a crazy month with everything going on. So hopefully I get more information on Lake Sonoma as the month goes on here through March, and with all these tournaments, and give you lake updates at some point once I get out there. But that's the status of the boat. It's in progress. Hopefully in another few weeks we'll get it all back together. Should only take about a day, I think, to get the new parts put on once they get in, and then it should be back up and running for the next year or two. It should be good to go. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch y'all next time. Take care.